develop a business plan for your dairy farm. Before you venture into dairy farming, you have to have some strategies or steps that you are going to be following before starting your dairy farm. Here, you have to know, where am I going to put my farm? Which area? Is it a busy area? There is market for milk. Such things you have to put into considerations before bringing or venturing into dairy farming. So for instance, under develop a business plan, you have to know where you are going to either buy the land or use your land, transportation of these animals and products of these animals, feeds, water, structures, how you are going to set up your farm. You have to have all those details before even bringing anything in that area or before using any money. You have to have a good plan for that project. That's the first thing you have to know. Because if you don't get a good plan at within or in the wrong land, you'll find that you can fail in the project. So make sure you have a good plan that will run your dairy farm very good. Another thing, start small. Start small. When we talk about start small, say start small. Remember, you're a new person in this business of dairy farming. You can't just set up a dairy farm that can accommodate 1,000 or 100 dairy animals. You have to start small. What I mean is, you can set up a bigger, you say you have prepared a dairy farm that can accommodate 50 heads of cattle, but bring in around 10, learn with them for around 2-3 months or 6 months, learning how to handle them. Because remember, the time you are starting your dairy farm, getting good personnel that will come to manage your farm will be a challenge. People who will be handling your animals, getting the ones that are very, very good and committed to work is a challenge. You don't know the flow of water, feed challenges, fodder. So you have to start small. You can bring around 10 to 15 for a start. Go with them for a period of let's say 3 to 5 months as you learn how to handle and how to manage them. As time goes on, you can now be increasing, because the more you increase the herd, the more you need to have more knowledge on how to handle them. Because if you can handle 20, you can't handle 100. So, but when you start with 20, you go 25, 30, 35, like that. You are going to be growing. As you grow in the level of management, you also grow with the knowledge on how to handle them. Because you can ask, and let us say an instance whereby you have 50 herds of cattle and you are starting. Maybe 10 of them they become sick. You don't have, or you lack the knowledge that will help you to understand this animal is sick. Or even the handlers themselves, they don't have the knowledge to know this animal is sick. In that period, you'll find that you'll be having bigger loss in either treatment or even death of these cattle. So start small as you grow your farm. Don't just get into business with a bigger stock, because you don't know how the market flows. Okay, so start small. Another thing is record keeping. Before you purchase anything in your farm, let's talk about cattle. Before you take this cattle or this animal from where you're buying it to your farm, you should be given the record of this animal since it was born. If you're buying a heifer, mostly the owner has the record since the first day this heifer was born or was given birth. that is a paturation. Get that record. This record will guide you to know the health of this animal. If it is given, let's assuming okay, let's say record health of the animal, the weight of the animal, the color, because maybe you're buying let's say you're buying a freshen. Sorry, let's say you're buying a freshen. At the record book, you should write there a freshen, black and white. All these goes under record keeping. The health of these animals. Remember, record keeping is a crucial thing, a very, very crucial thing, and you should have bigger knowledge about that. Another thing is ear tagging or tag notifications. Each individual animal should be having a different tag number, a different name. This, let's go with a number. Let's say maybe in your farm, you started with 001, 002, going upwards. In the record keeping, you'll go there and write tag number 005. It came in while producing this amount of milk. It came in as a heifer. It came in with the pregnancy of 2 months. It came in under this stage of lactation. How many times have this cow given birth? The age of it. Still, which type of semen was used? And still under record keeping, how much does it produce in a day? The health status of this animal. All these will be controlled by the tag number. So tagging each individual animal with a different number or a different name is another thing that you have to know. Okay, so from record keeping, before even thinking of record keeping, now we talk about record keeping for livestock. Tag numbers come also there. Still under record keeping, have record keeping for the infrastructures in the farm, for machineries, all those they're under record keeping. But when you talk about livestock, ear tagging goes hand in hand with record keeping, because when you know the record, when you know the tag number of an individual animal, it will be easy for you to get the full history of that animal. Let's talk about how to manage finance. Remember, as you start this dairy business, at the beginning, for around 5 to 7 months, these animals will be eating from your pocket with zero return. So if you're not well prepared, in between or on the way, you can fail, because assuming you bought heifers when they're 4 or 5 months in calf, you'll have to wait 5 months for them now to start giving you something. So within these 5 months, these animals will be getting feeds from your pocket. That is dairy meal, silage, hay, salts, veterinary care. All these you will get it from your pocket because they are not producing anything. But when you go and start with second calvers or lactating animals, you'll find that within a period of 2 days, these animals will start to bring in something. But each individual person has his or her own preference. Some can start with the heifers, some they want to start with the already lactating animals. So it depends with your planning, because remember we said business plan, that's the first thing. So depending on the way you planned your farm to start, it will determine how you are going to run or to go on with your farm. Another thing under finance is feeds in. You have to know feeds out. Sometimes you can be selling, let's say you have plenty of Lucerne, you can be selling. The money you sold this Lucerne, where did you use it? Okay, just in short, you have to know how to manage the finances of your farm. Either you employ someone to do that, or you yourself, you can learn how to manage your finances. Another thing, remember you are the manager of that farm. Even if you employ a manager, still you're also a manager of that farm, of your own farm. Don't just say that I employed someone there, so I'll just be going to visit. No, you're also a manager of that farm. You need to be observing each and everything that is happening in your farm. Okay. Another thing is health of these animals. So let's say now you already brought in your animals, or now you are going to purchase or to buy these animals from the breeders, from other farms. Health is a crucial thing. When you mess on the health condition of these animals, it will be very, very much expensive for you to maintain or to bring back these animals on their health or on their normal health. So health is a crucial thing. Remember, animals still suffer the same as human beings suffer from diseases. So you can contract a veterinary personnel or a doctor who will be visiting your farm, or at the time you're going to purchase or buy these animals, you can go with someone who has a good knowledge of observing and identifying sick animals and animals with good quality that they can be good in your farm. When you bring in sick animal, it will be highly expensive for you to manage. So make sure before taking any risk, the health of animals is guaranteed to be 100% healthy. Yeah, because anything that is not healthy, a challenge. The cost of production will be high because of the veterinary care. Let's talk about breeding. Breeding still goes hand in hand with the veterinary care still, because okay, as you say, but that under business plan selected, you will go with the heifers, not heifers, freshen. Depending on your plan, maybe you want to go in the line of milk production in large quantities. Freshen, they do better because they produce more milk, despite the fact that the milk has a lower butterfat content, but the milk is the milk is bulk, but low quality. But for business, it is okay. So if you go for freshen, you have to have some knowledge about freshen breed. How does it look like? Which characteristics of freshens do they have? How do you check to know a good dairy animal, a good animal with good milk production? All those aspects. If you don't have any knowledge from that, you can acquire knowledge from people, or you can hire someone, go with them to the area where you are selling or you are buying your animals. He or she will guide you and will help you to purchase good breeders or good milk producers. Breeding also matters, as you said. For me, hey, freshers are the best when you come the line of business. Freshers are the best because they are good producers of milk. Another thing is housing. Before you even bring in your animals in your farm, remember you need a structure where these animals will be will be in place. So make sure you can just improvise a cheaper structure. As you can see, it's a cheaper structure that will be easy for you, not costly, just as simple as you can observe. Some people use metallic, but you can also use wood, so long as you get a good as long as you get someone who knows how to prepare very well a dairy farming house or structure. It will be cheaper for you because these animals, they need a good area, a good housing. Remember, when these animals have stress, there will be a challenge. Also, the production will be lower. So make sure the housing of these animals is well kept. The drainage is very good. There's no dampness in those structures. Okay, so The housing should be very clean always, and with good drainage, cleaned regularly, even washed sometimes. You can even wash daily, depending on the flow of water you have, because still these animals need water, so you need to have enough water. Because the more you increase the number of animals, the more they will need more water. Because remember, I said start small. If you have 10, when you go for 20, you have to increase the water intake. Hope we are together. Also, make sure you have good people who knows how to handle these animals. They should have some knowledge on how to detect a sick animal, a dull animal, and inform you or inform the personnel who will be taking care of them, so as to reduce the cost of production. Another thing is milking. We talk about now milking, but that will come later now after the animals are already calved down. Milking. Remember, you have continuous milking, because if you lack any single day without milking these animals, you can end up creating diseases like mastitis. Some stage of mastitis they come due to incomplete milking. Leave alone even consistency, just incomplete. You find someone he's milking an animal, then with the time he feels maybe tired, he stops milking on the way. That milk can cause mastitis. So make sure the people who are handling these animals, they have some knowledge and they know how to milk complete milking. Also, the hygiene of milk, the hygiene of milk should be of high quality. Yeah, the milking cans, storaging area, how the water that is used to clean the udder before milking should be clean. Yeah, okay, the general hygiene of a dairy farm should be clean, because the produce from these animals is also perishable. If you milk in a dirty area, you'll find that the milk will spoil faster. So we should check on that. Lastly is waste management. Know how you are going to control wastes in your area. For feeds, you have to be feeding these animals on a feed that they'll be finishing zero waste in terms of feeds, because also the feeds is expensive, so you have to have zero waste in feeds. Then for the waste from now the cow dung or the manure, you can use them to make biogas, as you can observe. You can make biogas. You can store them for to be like manure to be using in crop production. Okay, just generally keep keep the hygiene of your farm clean. All the wastes, dispose them in as one area, make biogas, put them in an area for farming. All these helps to control the hygiene of the area. Don't forget to subscribe.